TNTM The Show presents Comicast 270 with your host,
Pablo Gunner,
and JD.
and we are Talk Nerdy to Me. We are here to talk nerdy about comics, review the comics for the week of
The 25th of January 2017.
That's right. And so we're live streaming this right now on the Ustream, which will end up on the Facebook.
And end up on the YouTube.
I mean, the YouTube. Yeah, the YouTube. We got a lot of books this week that we will be reviewing. And so there's going to be some spoilers, at least minor spoilers. I feel like we don't spoil too much. I feel like we're more the hype men than we are the spoiler men.
I think we have been lately.
You think?
Yeah.
But there will be spoilers, okay? And we also have our grade scale. Grade scale is?
Buy, skim, pass, with variations of buy and skim. Strong buy, weak buy, strong skim, weak skim.
That's right. And our best book of the Wookie. No, our best book of the week is...
The Back Bag of the Week, the B-Bell.
That's right. In fact, I've come up with this great, phenomenal, brilliant, genius idea that for the Back and Bag of the Week, when we announce that in the background, you know what I'm going to throw back there? You're the best around. Da-da-da-da-da. Yes, because it deserves that. That's why, okay? So that's what it's going to get from now on.
And if you're catching us on a video stream or on YouTube or anything like that, you probably noticed a change in background. We're at Casa de JD.
That's right.
So, I mean,
and we're having some Zimas and wine coolers here. I'm having some Henry's hard soda made with cane sugar, contains alcohol. It is hard cherry cola flavor.
How is it?
It's refreshing and alcoholizing. Yay!
And Pablo supplied me with some twisted tea. So
no, we're not sponsored. There's no sponsor. I'm just being an idiot. But since I'm being an idiot, we also have a ringtone. And this week, I just felt appropriate because I just recorded a Pokemon podcast. So I felt like, hey, let's have this as the tone.
Well,
right here.
Yeah.
It didn't really let it get into it too much.
Yeah, but if you know
but
what it is,
you know what it is.
Give him a holler.
I already said what it was.
And be specific.
Whatever. Be specific.
Because it does change from time to time, from what I understand.
So, let's. You have a few number ones, so let's get into one of your number ones first.
Alrighty. So we're getting into one of my number ones. I picked up a bunch of weird stuff this week, just for the heck of it. I mean, it was just. Yeah, no real reason. But I picked up Back to the Future, Biff to the Future, number 1. A story and scripts by Bob Gale and Derek Friedorfs. Art's done by Alan Robinson, and inks by Alan Robinson and Jaime Castro. Colors by Maria Santaolalla.
Yeah,
whatever her name is.
I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
That one looks pretty tough.
Basically, what this is if you watch Back to the Future Part 2, when old Biff goes back to 1555 and gives his younger self the Gray's Sports Almanac and then leaves, it creates a brand new future, a brand new timeline.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're in. We are in that brand new timeline from November 12th, 1955. And we got his grandma, cussing at him. Hey, you and your car smell like manure. I mean, it's brilliant. It takes you back to the movies. She's like betting, trying to bet for him because he's got the almanac, and she screws it up every time and just bets against him. Oh, had you bet this, you would have only won $5. It would have been over under. Would have been better to bet this other team that was going to lose anyway. So finally, towards the end of the book, he actually wins, and he wins big. And this loan shark, I guess, kind of goes out and kind of tries to stick it to him. Didn't quite work out so well for him. And I enjoyed this book. I didn't know what to expect because I haven't read any Back to the Future comics. The Back to the Future animated series back in the 90s was okay for what it was. But this was beautifully done. It's set in-universe and gives an in-universe timeline of what goes on and what proceeds. And wow, I was thoroughly impressed. So, strong buy. It is a contender for me.
It's better than buying the Trump book, because this has pictures. So.
Oh, yeah.
And
Biff Tannen does kind of grow up to be Trump, I don't think he's president. I think he's just mayor of Hill Valley. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Had they let that timeline play out a little bit more, it might have been different.
Yeah. So we're gonna move on to a book we both read, yes?
Yes.
Which is Civil War II: The Oath #1. I'm not even sure who writes this one. I think it's Nick Spencer, but we have a different artist.
Slew of artists.
Rod Reyes, Phil Noto, Rafael Ayenko, Simon Kodransky, and Dono Sanchez Almara.
And then don't forget about the variant cover by Rafael Albuquerque. Come on, man.
Sure. Okay. So, anyways, yeah, this one actually, it's
the aftermath of Civil War.
It's Cap. It's Hydra Cap, actually,
Mm-hmm.
and he is talking to the body of Tony Stark.
Not the corpse, but
Not
the
body.
corpse,
the body, yes. And so he gets the special, treatment for S.H.I.E.L.D. and everything like that. Well, I was sorely disappointed because I thought this was going to be Carol Danvers talking to his body or something of the like,
Yeah. Remember when Tony did it to Cap on his corpse?
Yes.
I mean, that was a heartfelt issue, man.
That made sense to me because it was heartfelt. It was great. It was phenomenal. So I thought it was going to be the same type of thing. But more and more, they keep on trying to change things up and make it different from Civil War I, which I think has been their biggest mistake this entire time.
Yeah.
And instead, they have Hydra Cap, and it's him doing the talking, and it's his story, and it's like, the whole time I just felt like, you know what, dude, I could not care less because I know that you're Hydra.
Yeah.
And he's kind of doing the same thing, too, where he's like, well, this is genuine, but this isn't genuine, but I'm a different guy than I was. And he even says, like, I remember the person I was, but I'm a different person now. Which is really weird and very, meta
ominous.
to be like, so you know the you before, but you also know you've changed, but you can't change, but you don't care. It was just really
It was
weird.
really wordy, I can tell you that.
It was super wordy, and that would be fine, but like I said, they're just trying to make things different, and I really don't like that they're forcing. To me, I just thought, like, this is... You see this cover? This is not what it is.
No.
And I know, and I get it. As a comic book reader who has been reading comics for a long time now, I should know that a cover does not mean that that's what the book is about. But excuse me if sometimes I get fooled, and sometimes the cover is what the book is about. Just like Aquaman, a few weeks ago when it said Aquamarines, and that's exactly what it was about.
Yeah.
So, I guess fool me once, it's on me. Fool me twice, it's on me. What? Oh, I got it backwards. But you know what I mean? Like, I did not like it, dude. Like, it looks good, but I was just like, I just felt like you're forcing a Captain America Steve Rogers issue on me, and that's not what I showed up for. I showed up for Captain Marvel to talk to Rogers or talk to the people or something like that. Instead, I got this. So, what did you like about it? Because you said you liked it.
I liked it. I thought it was a great transition on introducing how Steve became the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D., the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. How Carol Danvers, what's her name? Not Carol, but Sharon Carter. He wanted Sharon Carter to do it. She turned it down and said Cap is the man for the job. So we have Hydra Cap as head of S.H.I.E.L.D. And this sets off the whole next arc, I guess, which is going to be the Secret Empire. So it did cram a ton.
Shattered, I think it says.
I think it was a ton of information.
Yeah, Secret Empire, you're right.
Ton of information in this book. And it was a good lead up to that Secret Empire because none of the other books, including the Captain America book, which we will probably get to a little bit later. I'm not sure if you got it or not, but
no, I don't read
it. It doesn't say that how he became this.
Not my Steve. Not my hashtag. Not my Steve. Not my Captain America.
So yeah, I give it a buy. Granted, I probably paid a lot less than you did for it because this is what, a $4.99 issue.
It is $4.99. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, I didn't pay full price for it, but still, I mean, from what I got it for, it was a great read. But again, it was very wordy. So I'll give it a buy. And you'll probably tell it to.
I kind of want to give it a pass, but it looks good, and it's probably for some people. I'll tell you right now, it's a pass for me personally. I wish I wouldn't have wasted my money on this book, but I'm sure for some people out there, it's gonna be just like you. Like I said, for me, it's a complete pass. This was, like I said, I'm really pissed off that they keep on trying to separate to the bitter end, Civil War II is trying to separate itself from Civil War I in every way that it possibly can. And this showed it. And like I said, I don't like Captain America, Steve Rogers, and to me, that's what this was. So,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. But here is the digital code. You know what? Why don't you read it?
Oh, so Hail Hydra. So I have F as in Frank, Z as in Zed, M as in Mike, D as in Domino, 4, 1, M as in Mike, 6, 3, Z as in Zed, F as in Frank, X as in Xavier.
Thank you. One of your other number ones, senor?
Oh man, this was a weird one. What was it? The Evil Dead versus Hitler, I think, number one? Give me a second here.
You said Ash versus Hitler at first, and
Okay.
I thought you were talking about Pokemon.
So-
and I was like, wow, they really are doing some new, different stuff. I like that. But
So it's Evil Dead 2, Revenge of Hitler, number
Revenge
1.
of Hitler.
Okay, and this is written by Ian Edgington. Larry Watts is the line art. House of Imagi did the colors. And Jacob Baskil did the letters.
Baskel.
Baskel.
What? Tomato.
So all of a sudden, we start the book out in Berlin, present day.
Berlin.
This corpse just freaking materializes out of nowhere, grows like skin, and becomes Hitler with a crap ton of like ancient wording on him. So he's got the page of Necronomicon tattooed on him, more or less.
Dang.
He's basically come back to life, and then he cuts away to a clone or evil copy of Ash, because the real one's kind of floating around in time space somewhere, which I don't know what the hell's going on there. But he's just sitting on his crapper. And this demon just kind of pops up out of nowhere. And him and Ash have a little conversation saying, oh, well, Hitler has control all over these Deadites, and we can't stop him because, well, we're a Deadite, but we can resist him. However, you can stop him, and if you stop him, we're going to give you your life back and take away evil Ash so you're not evil anymore. He's like, okay, groovy. And he grabs his shotgun. Let's go to Berlin and kick some Nazi ass.
Okay.
That's it. It was beautiful. I am a huge Evil Dead fan. I've been an Evil Dead fan since probably the 80s. And I read some of the Evil Dead comics from...
I've been an Evil Dead fan since the 60s.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm
But
just
yeah.
trying to be hipster about it.
I read the Evil Dead comics back in the 90s and in 2000s, Chop City Drop, some of the other stuff.
Yeah.
Great stuff. And this is along the lines of it. I'm enjoying it. It's a 1 of 2 issue. I'm going to pick up the second one so I can have the other part of it, but strong by contender for me.
Cool. Right on. And I believe the next one is mine alone. It is Justice League of America, Killer Frost Rebirth, number 1, which is $2.99. And it is... Yeah, it's Killer Frost. She's in prison right now, but she's supposed to get out. And Waller's like, oh, sorry, we lost your paperwork, so it's going to take some time to get you out of here. She's just being a royal bee.
Which Killer Frost is this?
The cute one?
There's Caitlin Snow.
It's Caitlin Snow,
Okay.
I think. Yeah. So she keeps on messing with her so that she screws up and gets into a fight with other inmates, and other inmates are giving her crap, and they're letting... The guards are letting it happen because, Waller's trying to set her up to be stuck in there, right? Because she did something so that she can get out. And so, and the thing is, like, she has to feed off of people. So, and she's starving. Well, she refuses to give in, and there's multiple chances she passes out, and then, boom, she's on the outs. And Batman's like, he even knows, like, she's trying to get, she's trying to change and stuff, so he's helping her out and stuff, because Waller's just at her, even on the outs, So, yeah, it was solid, man. It looks freaking amazing. Written by Steve Orlando and Jody Hauser. Mirka Andolfo is the artist, and then Arif Prianto is colorist. Looks amazing, dude. I really like this Caitlin Frost and this Killer Frost. Really cool, really interesting. It seems somewhat similar to the Caitlin Frost that we know and love in the Flash show. Similar, but not the same. So I like it. It's good. It's interesting. And I'm looking forward to seeing more.
Are they going to put her in the Justice League?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what there's going to be a new Justice League, which looks weird because it's like Batman leading it, a new JLA, but it's mostly bad guys.
Huh.
So.
Okay. That's
kind of
cool.
like his Suicide Squad that he made in.
The Justice League of Suicide Squads.
You know what I mean? Like he made his own. He made his own Suicide Squad, sort of. With the Catwoman and all that. Remember when they went and attacked Bane, and to get to Psycho Pirate or whatever. But yeah, so I give this one a strong buy, definitely.
Is it a
For
contender?
sure. Not quite.
Okay.
Not quite, but it is really solid.
All right.
Do you have any number ones?
No.
Any more number ones?
No, we're
All right, then we'll move on to our number twos. And I'm not talking about the poos, because this one is pretty solid. And I'm not talking about poos. I'm talking about Hulk, number 2.
Written by
Mariko Tamaki.
Yeah. Artist is Nico Leon and Dalibor Talarjic.
Okay.
And Matt Mia.
All right.
The color art.
No, I thought it was good.
This was a strange issue.
This continues her trying to deal. Like repressing the Hulk within her.
Yeah.
And like
she
stuff
does a good
happens.
job on that.
Well, there's people in the background where they're talking about it, and she starts getting bugged about it, and she's like, "I'm gonna lay off." This guy even he harasses her sexually, sort of. Well, not. I don't know.
He catcalls her.
Yeah, he
That's probably
catcalls
the
her,
best way to
and
put it.
she puts it to rest. Then this other dude is a dirtbag, the landlord, and he is legitimately sexually harassing her. And I was surprised that she didn't drop the hammer on him. She goes to a park, and the kids start playing Avengers versus Hulk or something. And so that sets her off. That sets her into the eyes go green, but she hasn't. She's controlling it. She goes to her office, and she kind of just holds herself up in there, and stuff. So she's just not dealing with her work and everything
a therapist,
like that.
Man.
Yeah. Where's
Doc? What's his name? The green guy with the hair.
I was gonna
Samson.
say Doc Samson. Yeah, where's Doc Samson when you need him? I don't know. So, yeah, but it looks like somebody else is dealing with this dude, this landlord, since she's not. And we'll see, man. We'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
I just can't wait until she lets the Hulk out, man. I know, I said this in the first issue, and I know it's going to continue. We'll see how long it continues, is repressing it. And
then it's going to explode.
Bad. It's going to be bad. I wonder if she's going to be stuck in it. That's how bad it's going to be.
I really wanted to see the Hulk in this one. I wanted to see her Hulk out, but it's kind of worth it to wait. I mean, you want that build up to see what she's going through. It develops her character a lot more, just to see her knock Hulk out.
For sure, definitely. And like I said, I knew this was going to be a slow burn from issue 1, so I didn't expect it in this one. You got a little more. I'm hoping they do it by the end of issue 3 though, because that might be
a little too
long if they wait until 4 more. We'll see. But I liked it. It looks good. It's interesting. I'm still reading. I would say though that so far it seems like it might be better
in trade.
Yeah. Or at least a few issues at a time.
I'll give it a buy. What would you give it?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree just because of the fact that I'm not super in love with it, but I'm gonna keep reading. So, and it's not oh my god, I have to see that next issue. What I'm really waiting for though, and that's the thing, is if it doesn't deliver.
I mean, this feels like a Netflix series almost. It's how it's written so far.
Yeah.
It's written like how it would be on Netflix.
Almost like a Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
Not exactly. Different, of course.
I mean, but
which wouldn't be a bad idea for a Netflix series to have
She-Hulk.
a She-Hulk
where she's
Netflix
a lawyer
series.
and
they could just not have her as ridiculous as the Hulk. You know what I mean? They could just have her just
tall, green, and pretty.
Just find a Lou Ferrigno type bodybuilder type chick. You know what I mean? It's doable, dude.
Yeah.
Find a skinny, small Jennifer Walters, and so you could see the huge contrast when it's the bodybuilder chick. You know what I mean?
For real.
Just, I don't know. Throw it out there. All right?
Just pay us if you use the idea.
Into the cosmos. So, yeah. All right, here's a digital code. F for Fandango. Z for Zamboni. M for Mankey. A for Alvin. J for Jacopo. W for Wesker. K for Kill. U for Ultron. L for Logan. 8. Another J for Jacopo, and R for Rigoberto.
Rigoberto.
All right.
You've got Savage.
Yes, I have the Savage,
Savage.
number 3. Numero 3. You didn't have any number 2s, did you?
I don't think so. I think the next one I have is the next number 3.
Okay. But this is written by B. Claymore, artists Clayton Henry and Louis La Rosa, colorist Brian Reber, and Andrew Dalhouse. And so this one starts with this little savage dude tearing up some freaking, I don't know, they don't exactly look like velociraptors, but similar, and he takes him out because he's like, no, this is my kill. He wants to kill this guy. He wants to kill this dude instead of letting them do it. And then it goes back to the past where it's him and his mom looking into these guys. And there's some crazy portal where they get future stuff from. Like, it goes through. Like, they have cars. They get cars. And there's a guy that came through with a motorcycle. And it's like, well, it's a portal. Like, can't you go through the other side back to reality or back to, civilization or whatever? So that's what the mom's thinking. Like, hey, that's my way. That's our ticket back. And so, and it goes back and forth between that and the other story where it shows the kid and his kill and stuff. And then this one actually shows what happens to the mom, like why she's not in the future stuff. So
Sounds kind of grim.
it is, dude. It's good, and I love the different styles of art. It's really good. Like, there's so much detail in like the future stuff, but I like how the earlier stuff, it's a little warmer and more colorful because it has the mom there. So I'm wondering if, like, from here on out, it's just gonna be like more grim, and stuff. I'm liking it a lot. It's really interesting. It is kind of slow paced, but I like it at the same time. I think this probably would be really good in trade. But it's also one of those things that it's like, it's hard to go like, well, I have this thing with indie stuff too, where I'm like, but if I switch to trade,
It might not make it.
it might not make it. Even though my one sale is not going to be enough, I hope that people out there will end up buying it because I say
It's good.
that it's a strong buy and that it's definitely worth buying. But at the same time, I still feel it would be like, not a lot better, but slightly better. Or you could just buy it a few issues at a time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey, hold
So
these issues
let
for
it
me.
build,
Done.
Yeah, exactly. Or just let them pile up yourself when they come out.
So it's a strong buy. Is it a contender?
I'm going to give it a contender. It was solid. It was really, I like it a lot.
Groovy. All right, up next, you and I both have Ghost Rider Robbie Reyes. Number
3, and
it's written by Felipe Smith, artist by Danilo S. Beruth, and then a ton of color artists. Oh my goodness.
Jesus Alberto, Federico Blee, Maury Hollowell, Dono Sanchez Almara.
And this was a weird one. We finally got more Ghost Rider in this freaking issue, man.
We did. We got more Robbie Reyes, to be specific. And yeah, it was cool, dude. Honestly, it now seems like they are doing the new Fantastic Four, dude. And that gets me jacked up.
Yeah.
Like, I go like, okay, this is different, but it's unique. And it was weird because I'm kind of jumping ahead here, but who the other person is, they were on the West Coast. I'm surprised they didn't have this person where they were, though, because they were in San Fran.
Yeah.
Instead, it has them in Nevada, I was like, you could have just kept them in San Fran.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, how on the same page they are with what's going on with the
actual main
conspiracy theory, or not a clone conspiracy.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if they later went to Vegas or not.
Yeah, that's true.
So I can't tell you where they went from San Francisco. So this person might know more than I know. You know what I mean? So it might actually work better.
But
anyways,
the future.
It's cool, dude. You have the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider go up against
The Hulk.
and
Dude, he takes a shot to the face.
to the face.
To the jaw. From the Hulk, and he just stands there.
I like when he's just like vomiting lava though. And he's like, "What's wrong with me?" And he's like, "You're getting more powerful. We are." And it's cool, dude. Yeah, I was like, why does this monster have these powers? And I was like, there has to be some person that they got the powers from.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And I like that it was this person instead of Miles or instead of Peter. I might be giving away too much.
Yeah.
But, you know, that still leaves a couple more people. And then who they leave it with at the end, because it does connect into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. from the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show.
Because we have Coulson and May.
Yes, so that's cool how it's like kind of connecting into the show that did homage to the original so well.
So, I mean, finally we get to a story where I'm enjoying this comic. I'm going to give it a strong buy and a contender because this was great. I loved it.
I was not. There's some art that's I feel like is slightly off. There was a lot of artists, and you can kind of tell a little bit, not a lot. So I did feel like they did a really solid job. I will say that. I also, and here's the big thing. I will say, okay. So first off, I'm gonna give my grade strong buy, and strong buy, not contender, but strong buy. Now I don't know if you knew this. You probably didn't, but Felipe Smith actually. Because I'm way behind on promoting our promoting our Comicasts on Twitter, and so I just mentioned him, tagged him in the tweet, for our podcast, and I think he was a little perturbed because we were not on the up and up of the original, so he took the time and effort to educate me on the original and say. This is what, I could not be more happy about this, which is, I feel like this is not the first time, but very few artists do this, or writers will be like, this is what I was going for, and this is why I'm doing this, and this is why I'm doing that. And so if you stick with it, we're going to get to where you want it to be, or it's getting better. It's just a progression. So give us a little time, and just like that, here it is, it's delivered. And so it was just, like I said, it was just great that he tweeted us and took the time and the effort to tell us, hey, this is what I'm going for. I don't want to make it a rehash of my original series. That's why I'm not doing the same stuff over again. That's why I'm kind of just jumping into the thick of it instantly, especially for those people that did read that original series, because they should read that original series. They should go back and buy it. You can buy it on Comixology or wherever. Buy it digitally. Or just get them, or you could just buy them, hunt them down and get them, and everything like that. So I have to give a shout out to, I think he's like Felipe Tweeters, on the Tweeternet.
You'll have to tag him in it.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely will.
Felipe, you did great. This is good.
This is exactly what we wanted. Yeah. This is the direction we want it to go. And we had mentioned in the past, like, if they go like a Fantastic Four direction, we're gonna be jacked off about it.
Yeah.
And that's where it went. Go. Like he said, just be a little patient, and then boom, here it is, issue 3. So really, and we usually give the 2 issue.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going.
And he is the reason. He is solidly the number 1 reason that I got this book.
I just picked it up because I thought it looked cool.
So there it is. I just wanted to, because like I said, a lot of writers and artists don't do that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then next up we have Thanos, number 3, written by Jeff Lemire. Mike Deodato is the artist. Frank Martin is the color artist, and Clayton Cowles is the letterer. Alrighty. I kind of skimmed through this.
This one's just pure action, dude. Like, I love it. Shi'ar, Imperial Guard, attack Thanos, and it is just epic, dude. Like, I feel like that's all I need to say.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they do this thing where, like, okay, in between they have, like, interviews with people that knew Thanos from his past. And, like, there's this one guy that they talk to, and it's, like, a guy that he knew as a boy. And he's like, well, he was just a boy. But, when there started becoming people missing, we should have known something was up. He was always different, but he was a boy.
Yeah.
All boys are...
You can't blame him. He's a kid.
Yeah. So, but once he got older, and I love how the art is so plain. It's a very classic style. You have like your 9 panels, but then it goes to like
And then the Gladiator.
Then it changes up, yeah, and it looks. Oh, I just love it. Yes, okay, yeah. Then at the end, they send the final wave, and who's the final wave?
It's Gladiator.
Is Gladiator,
That's
and
Gladiator.
he's like, "I'm not like these other mofos.
I'm gonna wreck
I will
this guy."
drop you." Yes, and because he's sick, and they know this, they're like, that's why they're attacking in the first place. Is they know he's a little weaker, and oh, dude, it is just pure epic, dude. I love it because it's paced so well, though, because it's not just pure action because of those scenes that talk to people that knew of him from his past
Yeah,
or know of him.
Great
So,
one.
and then of course, yeah, Gladiator was the last one, and then ended up being the last one, too. And it's
He's
awesome. Now,
straight murked him.
oh yeah, it's I don't want to spoil the ending, but I feel like this is what I thought when I got to the end. You've made a terrible mistake. If you think you can do what you're going to do, it's not going to work.
There's consequences
Yeah.
to your actions.
Yeah.
Anything when it comes down to Thanos, there's a consequence for beating on Thanos. That's just the way it is.
I hate people that call him Thanos.
Thanos. It's
Thanos.
Thanos.
Thanos. It's
Thanos.
Thanos.
Yeah, sorry.
Never have. It's not Thanos. There's a
Thanos.
Thane. No, but since he has a son Thane, does that mean that we've actually been saying it wrong this whole time, and that he actually is Thanos, and that because it's not because you don't say his son's name as Than.
Thon.
I mean, or do you?
Is his name Thon?
Maybe it is.
I
I think he sounds cooler though that way. I should have been saying it that way this whole time.
who knows? But I give it a strong buy.
I give it a strong buy and a contender.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
absolutely love Thanos. He's my number one favorite villain.
Number two for me.
And who could be better?
Then Thanos?
Thanos.
Who could be better?
Yes.
Why, the great destroyer of worlds, Mr. Galactus himself.
Really? Galactus is lame.
No, Galactus is
He's
grand.
so one-dimensional.
He's hungry as hell. Wouldn't you be pissed off if you were hungry?
He does too much cardio and he builds up that galactic acid in his knees, and that's why he has to.
But yeah, I
You know?
like the character of Galactus. Always have. It's just, I mean, he was great. He was a great villain. I mean, the other villain that I prefer is Mephistopheles, but you know, he's nowhere to be found in any comic book in Marvel Comics nowadays.
Oh, okay. I thought you. All right.
Mephistopheles, same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
I thought you meant. All right. Cool. Well, I'm gonna read off the digital code since this is my book.
Oh yeah.
9, 3, A for Alpha, J for Jarnborn, 5, 3, 0, 9, 1. I think it's a 0. It could be an O. F for Felix, and then X for X-ray.
Alrighty. We got X-Men, Inhumans versus X-Men numero 3 with Charles Soule and Jeff Lemire as the writers, Javier Guerrero as the artist, Andres Mosa and J. David Ramos are the colorists, and Clayton Cowles again is doing the lettering. Better?
Cool. Very well done. I feel like this is one series, though, one event that is not disappointing because it's called Inhumans versus X-Men, and you know what it's doing?
It's giving you
giving me
Inhumans
that.
and X-Men.
You have OG Logan versus ISO and Inferno, and then but it just ends up being versus Inferno. And Inferno's like, I face Sabretooth, and he's like, I'm not Sabretooth. And so they duke it out, and it's pretty intense, dude. Like, this guy's willing to take the sacrifices to win this fight, and he messes them up. You got to remember, too, he's an old man, so he's not as fast. He doesn't heal as fast.
Man, he doesn't care.
So, but yeah. And then you have ISO, and she's attacking Forge, because Forge has this machine to deal with the Terrigen Cloud. And so they are the X Factor. These new humans are they didn't know about them. They didn't expect them. And so that's a big issue. But they end up contacting Kamala Khan because she's in contact with a lot of them, and they end up bringing them together. Then there's the Karnak stuff with Jean Grey, and he actually ends up breaking through that. But now he's got to deal with somebody else, Phantom X. So And then you also have this thing with Beast, and he's like, and they're talking about how bad it's getting too.
I don't really care about Beast anymore. I used to like
Young Beast or old Beast or neither.
The old ugly sucker, the one that's blue.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like him. He's too much of a wuss. I mean, Young Beast,
He's always been that way, though, dude. He's always bailed on the X-Men when they start. Like, he left them and went with the Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
So he's always been a freaking fence jumper.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever you call him, where he jumps, he goes back and forth. So that's just his personality, man. It's almost like he just goes, whichever mutation he's got to change with a different team or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
it's a great book. The ending is fantastic, bringing this character back. I guess they're alluding to this character bringing him back. So it's a strong buy. It's not a contender for me, but it's a strong buy.
I feel like the art could be better at the end, at least. Like, there was something about the art that just kind of bugged me. But the rest of it was really, really good. And I really like the rest of it. So I'm going to have to say the same and say that it's a strong buy, but not a contender. And it's just that art is just slightly off.
You going to read the digital code?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not.
Oh,
I'm going to give it to you to read off.
You can give it to me. But I don't want to.
Do it.
Do it. Let's do it. All right. 8, 5. J for Juanito. L for Lima. Z for Zarbon. 2, 3. S for Sky. Y for Yellow. H for Harry. W for Winston. T for Tomasi. And 7. Better.
Cool. Right on.
Alrighty, so we got what? Batman Beyond, number 4.
Yes.
Let's see here, where is that?
The Quattro.
The Quattro.
Yeah.
Alrighty, this was written by Dan Jurgens. Pete Woods did the art and color, and Travis Lanham did the letters. Man, we picked up exactly where we left off with,
Yeah.
I guess it was Terry and what's her name?
Dana.
Dana, yeah, kind of hanging by the light post.
And they're shooting, they're like slingshotting acid balls
like
at
paintballs,
them while they're hanging. And he's like, you know what? I need to step it up. And I love it. He's like, I can get out of this. I don't need help. And so he's like, he pulls out this knife.
This cooking knife is so sick, man.
Oh, it's so cool. And they're like, did somebody pat him down and search him? And you would think, like, I love that they threw that in there because it's such an important detail that it's like,
duh.
That's like, any nerd would bring up, like, why didn't they search him? What's up with that? Like, any of them would search, and it's like, they're idiots. They're jokers. They're losers. You know, like, what do you expect? It's not like they have a certain protocol, you know, like, Batman's going to be like, did you do this? Did you do that? You know what I mean? Like, when he trained him. And he even mentions that. He goes into, like, I miss having Bruce in my ear, in my head to, like, help me get through stuff.
Keep me calm.
Because I feel like he didn't talk much to the bad guys then. Like, he was pretty quiet, like Bruce Wayne himself. But that's because he was, like, usually talking to Bruce, or Bruce was talking to him. And I like that idea that the Batman is quiet, because he's kind of... He talks more than Bruce, obviously.
Well, he's not as much as, Dick, but still.
Yeah. So, but...
he pulls out the new Batman Beyond
But there's a
suit.
new Batman suit, and it looks sick. And it is sick, because it has all these new gadgets. It's lighter, it's better, it's faster. It's so cool. I love it. The art is freaking amazing, too. Like, the panels, the way they did these, the paneling is so unique.
The shading is amazing. It gives you that futuristic look. But, I mean,
And I love his revenge on the Joker Bane, too. Or the, what would you call him? Like, the Titan?
Yeah, the Titan Joker.
Yeah. And then the reveals that we've known for a while at the end, but everybody gets revealed to the characters, and so you see the fallout of that.
Yep.
And that's insane. Like, I can't wait for the next issue.
Me neither.
And this one was superb and phenomenal, and this was a strong buy and a contender by far.
Agreed.
And large.
Yep, strong buy, contender. Amazing.
Boom. Boom chakalaka.
So, pick this series up. We've given it a strong buy contender 4 times now. 4 times! It's gonna keep being like this.
Don't be a fool. Don't be a fool. Get Shui by buying Batman Beyond.
Yes.
All right. Now we have Reborn, number 4.
I'm gonna take your nasty ginger ale, I guess.
Yeah, tell me how it is. It's Mark Millar is the writer, Greg Capullo is the penciler, Jonathan Galapian is inker, and then FCO Plasencia is the colorist. And so this one, they've been captured, and but this girl, she's like, I feel like a blind man pissing into the wind because some of the stuff is coming to me now, you know? And so she's like some of her powers and stuff and like what to do in this situation. So that's what she does. She's like, just follow my lead, Pops. And she does her thing, and it's pretty cool, and it works out pretty well. She lets loose the prisoners, but the prisoners are so messed up because they're all like bad people that they end up attacking them and then giving them up to the bad guys. So they end up, you know, in the same situation. Then this lady and the husband are supposed to show up to kill them. And it turns out it's a lady that she knew from high school that she didn't like or something. And then the cat, there's a cat too that shows up that kind of saves him, but he actually did it because he wants to kill him, and he's like, yeah, your husband, he cut my balls off, so I'm here to get revenge. And it's like, what?
You neutered me and I want revenge.
And now I'm mad, yes. And so they do some exposition and stuff, and they do this exposition, and it's weird because they repeat it. And I heard something the other day by a writer that said, never repeat something that the audience already knows. And they make that mistake instantly in this book, which is they tell you something about this mountain where they go, oh, on this mountain you can make a wish, and if it's an evil wish or a negative wish, it'll come true. But if it's positive, it won't work. So the lady, I don't know, because I kind of feel conflicted. Like, she kind of just, you know how, like, when you're really mad at somebody and you're like, I wish you would just die. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's what it was. So it wasn't that they kind of made the mistake, but she was just being emotional. You know what I mean? Like, so she was just saying, I wish you would die. And then it was kind of coincidental that they were on the mountain. So then they all died. And so, but then, because immediately after that, she started wishing for other things and was like, I wish I could find my husband. I wish this, and I wish this, all these positive things. And the dad was like, I already told you, you can't wish for that stuff. So I think that it was just a way of showing that if you look deeper, you'll realize that she wasn't actually legitimately wanting all these people to die. She was just saying whatever came to her mind. And so it spurted out, so all the good stuff spurted out after that.
Man,
you know what I mean?
She could have been a lot worse than death. She could have been like, I wish she'd vomit diarrhea.
So, yeah, definitely.
I mean, that's way worse than death.
But that's the thing is, she wasn't a horrible person before, and that's why she's a powerful person in this life. And then you see the evil people, so, and it's weird. It gets weird. So, really, yeah, because I had time to think about it, this book ended up being better than I thought, because I thought, like, oh, they made that mistake, and I was like, no, that was intentional. That was not a mistake. She was just speaking out of being emotional, out of passion. Yeah, la pasión. So, I end up giving this one, I'm going to have to give this one a strong buy and a contender because of that.
Cool. Guess what time it is?
Time for commercial break. So, come on down to the Twin Sons Comics and Games. We got comics and we got games.
And twins.
That's right. We do have twins. They are twin brothers who own the shop. That's partially why it's called Twin Sons, but it's also called Twin Sons. Why?
Because of Star Wars geeks like me.
And them. Yeah. And like them. They are hardcore Star Wars geeks. They're just hardcore geeks, period. I have to call them geeks because they are knowledgeable in so many nerdy things to such an extreme point. Like, they have Friday Night Magic, and they'll be there with all the other magic. Yeah, playing with them.
I mean, well, I imagine one of them plays, and the other one just kind of has to man the register and stuff.
No, they'll both be playing.
Oh, okay.
No, they'll put a pause or something, and then I think maybe the other one will go back and forth since they're twins, and they'll be like, you know, maybe they won't know.
Oh, okay,
you know
like
what I mean?
The whole,
sister, or something like that, or yeah. They pull that thing on people. But those guys are so great to talk to you about. They're usually on the up and up with a lot of nerdy things. If one isn't, the other one is. It seems like. So it's cool. Josh and Drew.
The next time we do an ad with them, we have to take that to our advantage. We have to do the whole twin thing to our advantage.
I told them to do a Wayans brother, like the Wayans show intro. And
how did that turn out? Have you seen it yet?
I haven't seen it yet. No, but we ended up doing something else, but it was still fun. We did a little commercial with them at
Albuquerque Comic Con,
which they are at every year, and their display is monstrous, and it's so cool and so awesome. And they have cardboard setups so that you can take selfies with them. We even interviewed one of them.
Oh yeah,
one of the Wookiees that we saw there.
I interviewed Chewbacca there, and it was a was a great time.
Chewy, yeah, he's a talkative fella.
Yeah.
Once you get him talking, man.
Once you get him drunk, he's fine.
Once he just keeps going, yeah. Just don't make him mad, because he will not hesitate to tear your arms off.
Yeah, and have you seen that deleted scene yet?
No.
You haven't seen the deleted scene where Chewie rips off the guy from Jakku's arm off?
No.
Dude, it's so awesome, man.
And I've seen that.
It's not on the DVD.
Oh,
they
it's
just
not?
released it like on the net recently.
Shut up.
It's like a work print copy, so the effects of gosh, I can't remember the guy's name. You know, the quarter portion. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's just a work print of his special effects, so it looks kind of crappy. But
no,
man,
I love
he
seeing that stuff.
Rips his arm off.
I love seeing that stuff. It's so cool. But so yeah.
So
anyways,
Twin
Sons. You can find Funko Pops. You can find other figurines. They have so many amazing figurines and stuff, and they have some companion sets that are like a statue
with a comic or a poster.
with a poster in a frame and everything like that. It's fantastic. You know, Magic, tabletop gaming, card gaming
Pokemon.
of all kinds. So many things. They have it all there. So make sure you go there. Make sure you subscribe with them. You can get 15% off anything that you order. Anything at all that you order from them. It can be anything. It can be a statue. It can be a figurine. It can be a manga. It can be a comic. It can be a movie. It can be t-shirts. You order it from their book, it's 15% off. So
it's a good deal.
Do it. And you can find them in Albuquerque, New Mexico, near Coors and Montano.
Anybody the Wex?
Yes, near Wex. Yeah.
So, check them out. Check them out. Tell them we sent you.
Across from the Film Brew or whatever, that brew pub or that you can see the movies.
The
or whatever.
Flicks Brew House.
Flicks Brew House, yeah. It's
okay.
across from Flicks Brew House on the opposite side of the road.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Cool.
All right, back to comics. We have the Titans of Teen, number 4.
Quattro.
And it is written by Benjamin Percy, Coy Pram, did the pencils, Wade Von Graal Badger, wow, that's a hell of a name, did the inks, and Jim Charlemperis.
Charlemperis, yeah, colors.
Did the colors. And we pick up kind of where we left off, where the Damien bowing to the feet of the demon himself, Raz Al Ghul. And he's like, I'll join your cause. Just leave the Titans out of this.
The art is of a darker tone. Like, it's not as cartoony in this one. Not a problem. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It didn't bug me. Didn't bother me. But yeah, it shows his selflessness. And I think that's the problem that...
that's what Roz thinks.
That Roz has with it. He's like, you're
doing this out of
You're doing this because
friendship.
you care, because you're trying to save them. I want you to do it because I want you to be...
I want you to be the demon.
Yes.
The demon's head.
Exactly. And he's like...
Beast Boy's kind of there as a fly on the wall, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just kind of reporting back to the team, hey, Robin kind of did this, and it's really out of character. Is the kitty talking to you, man?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just want to know. But, yeah, Robin did this. He's out of character. He brought us all together, and he kidnapped us, but he's saving our life. Let's go help him out.
Yeah.
And Wally's kind of like, I'm not really a Titan. And they're like, yeah, you are. So, I mean, that's kind of how it ends, is where we have Damien and Mara, what was her name?
His cousin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fighting.
That girl?
And that girl. They're fighting, and he kind of just shows her mercy, I guess.
Well, he does end up winning, but yeah, he turns his back on her, and she ends up sticking a knife in it. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
And it's crazy too because
The team wants Robin as their leader.
they do, because they're like, yeah, did you see like the leadership he showed, and he's trying to save them. She could not care less about us, and so, but you know,
They kind of go in and start busting him out. So we have a busted Damian Wayne, and the Titans are ready to kick some tail.
I feel like you could, if you wanted to, legitimately start with this issue.
Yeah. The first 3 issues are kind of rehashed.
At least for
you know,
like people that know of these characters and the Teen Titans, you don't need the other issues. Yeah, they're good, so I think they're still worth buying, owning, reading, enjoying.
they're beautiful.
As well as this one, because I felt like this is the best one thus
So
far.
far, yeah. And it's a strong buy. It's a contender for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everything looks great. You know, usually an artist change bugs me, but it flowed well because I feel like it still retained the essence, the tone, you know? So, yeah, strong by contender.
Speaking of, the Justice League and Teen Titans and stuff, on the inside of that cover there, you have the advertisement for Justice League Dark, the animated movie. You've not caught it yet. I have. It is amazing, man. You have totally got to check it out.
Okay.
I did not expect it to be
Maybe
so
we
good.
can talk about it later.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think we should watch it first.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Did you read Infamous Iron Man?
I kind of glanced through it.
4?
Number 4?
Yeah. Brian Michael Bendis is writer, Alex Maliva artist, Matt Hollingsworth color artist. Let's get started. And so this one, Victor actually shows up at a helicarrier, and he just wants to talk. He just wants to talk to Maria Hill, and he was like, I saved you so you would leave me alone, but apparently I have to tell you that I'm not a threat, and you can leave me alone. And she's like, you're like one of the most wanted guys in the world, so not really. And he's like, I get that, but you don't really have a reason why. And then he's like, well, at least like get Grimm off the case. And they're like, don't you know what happened to him? And they're like, yeah, he's in Latveria. And he's like, what? So he's going to actually help him, it seems like, get out of the situation that he's in. He knows what's up. He talks to the military leader he left in place, and he's like, dude, you're messing up. I left you in charge so you could vet this person, and here I got to do the work for you.
And then he got
Go talk to this person, which we don't know if that person's going to do that or not.
And then you got the Doombots.
The Doombots, he faces the Doombots, and he's like, this is an insult. I created them. I did all this, And then we see the end. He finds him, and he is actually the one that's, he could just show up and mess him up, and he looks in a bad way, too.
Yeah. He's kind of got...
shingles.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess.
I mean, shards of rock kind of splitting off.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could, shed rock like that, man.
I've always loved when they do that, where, someone fights him and there's, pieces of, rock coming off of him. When the Hulk, not usually most people can't do it, but, when he faces somebody like the Hulk or Wolverine, they can get pieces off of him. But it's only, people of that level,
So, is this actually the person that he's saying at the end of this? I mean, because, that would kind of make, basically the last, 60 years of his history kind of mute. I mean, he's been wanting this person to come back for so long, and now this person may be back.
Well, I think it has to do with his whole, what he did.
What with the God and the Secret Wars?
The whole Secret Wars. I
Okay.
think because that's left a lot of things kind of jumbled and messed up and undone and redone. Kind of like what we've seen in Flash.
Yeah.
In Flash.
In Flash.
I won't even call it Flashpoint because that was
2 episodes.
a joke of a Flashpoint if you ask me. But
Strong Buy. It's not a contender for me.
no,
Because it felt like it was missing something. But it is a strong buy.
I love it. I'm digging it so much. I think it's so great. So I give it a strong buy and a contender. I think it's a phenomenal book. I love that they legitimately think he's Iron Man, but then people who know Doom are like, that's Doom. You know what I mean? Like, so it's really cool that he shows up in Latveria and they're like, he's the enemy. You know what I mean? This is such an interesting dynamic to me. I'm really, really digging it. You know, especially because he's like the villain trying to be the hero, but he's not. It's not like most villains who think they are the hero always.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's very different. Where he's legitimately trying to turn a new leaf, and I feel like at any time he could just go, you know what, screw this, because his country's messed up, and he could easily go, you know what, screw it, I'm taking back. You know what I mean? Like I just thought like
I'm gonna be king again.
but he really does not want to mess with any semblance of his past whatsoever. He's completely ditching it, and I just find so much fascination out of that. So yeah,
Digital code for you.
strong by contender and digital code. F for Familia, Z for Zorro, M for Marcos, 5, X for Javier, R for Rigoberto, E for Inigo.
Montoya.
That's right. 8, K for Kill, 4, I for Inigo, and Q for Quintana.
Alrighty. So what we have next? We have the Thunderbolts, number 9? Written by Jim Zub. John Mallon is the artist. Matt Yaki is the color artist. And Joe Sabino is the letterer. And man, this first shot with freaking Bucky with the new arms.
With the new arm, with the
so
Thunderbolt on it.
beautiful,
Dude,
man.
it looks amazing. And it has all these new gadgets, and he's like, oh, they're going to make me lazy. And he's like, well, I can, you still have to use your other arm. And he's like, unless you want me to replace that one too.
Yeah.
But he's like, well, you still have to do certain things with it.
And it's lighter too, so
Yeah.
it's
It's cool, dude. I told you he was gonna have all these upgrades with his tech guy, and it's neat. I'm looking forward to it. But you know what I like the most about this is that it's getting back to what this book is about. Like, they did such a good job of, hey, they did the Civil War, but it wasn't too heavy and it worked. And now they're getting back to the mission, which is the man on the wall. But now it's like a group, and it's been that since the beginning with this book, and they're getting back to it. And with Songbird being part of it, right? She's like, I don't know if I want to be part of this. And then they do it, and she's like, I kind of like it, because we're not doing evil stuff for the sake of evil. Like, we're legitimately doing good, but they don't know we're doing good.
Yep.
And I think the villains kind of like that, because it's like there's no fame, there's just
do it has to be done.
Yeah, it's just like, be like the sun, man, and just light the world and make it a better place. And don't ask for anything in return. You know what I mean? Like, those are my favorite kinds of heroes right there. But yeah, so it's cool that like bad guys are those heroes in this, and the way they go against these villains, these aliens and stuff too. That maybe they're not like the biggest threat, but they talk them up enough so that it seems like it. And I don't know, man. I just like it, and I love the little girl too. How she changes herself to different characters. Like she's a little Thor, and then she was like something else earlier in the. Oh yeah, she changes her hair so it's like Songbird.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a great character development. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great visually. I'm not really familiar with the story itself, but I picked it up and I like it. I'm gonna pick up the next one. So it's strong buy for me. Not a contender because for some reason it just felt like I was missing something, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think the art is it's slightly off. I don't know, but I think it might just be its style, at the same time. So, but yeah, I give it a strong buy. You mind, Senor?
Senor, okay. So we have F for Familia, Z for Zapados, M for Marcos, E for Eduardo, W for Whiskey, I for Ignacio, P for Pablito, X for Xavier, B for, I don't know,
Bones.
Bones? Yeah, Bones. 9, K for Kilo, and 3. All right. Next up, we have Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps number,
13.
Written by Robert Venditti, penciled by Ken V. Ken Marin, inked by Paul Neary and Dexter Vines, and colorist is Alex Solazo. And this is a side story if I have ever seen it in my life. Because we have like the planet like Tomari's planet with the little fish head guy, you know, and it's story time.
Fish head bird.
Yeah,
mouth.
it's story time. Grandma, tell me a story, and she tells the story of basically an adventure of the Green Lanterns and Tomari and Tomar-Two.
It's actually just a retelling of the story that we just read, which is the Starro.
Well, the 2 arcs.
The Starro slash
Larfleeze.
Larfleeze.
Brainiac.
Yeah.
It's the 3 stories put together.
Yeah, and so that's what it's. And I'm like, why do we need this? Because we just read this. Now it's not bad. I feel like if you'd have missed the previous issues, this is a good jumping on point to get caught up on the previous and probably motivate you to read the previous arc. But you wouldn't read this and go, oh, this is the arc that they just covered, because it doesn't seem like that.
No, it doesn't.
Especially at first. But if you've read it, you're just like,
oh, yeah.
Why am I... You're just retelling me...
the same stories.
Like, mashed up into one thing, and this is... And they go into, like,
and then they
some
give you
future stuff,
events.
too.
And
which is interesting. Like, I like that because it's like, it is different.
Like,
and
the
then
power rings going everywhere.
It ends with her becoming a lantern, which is weird.
I thought it was her husband.
Was it? No, I think... Wait, is it?
That's her husband, man.
Because she said I did, and then she turns into...
Maybe she got Tomar-Two's
I don't know.
ring or
Regardless, that was really confusing to me.
Yeah.
Either way. And I just felt like, I don't need this. I've been reading this whole time.
But it was so beautiful, though.
It looked so good, and it's actually
well-written.
really well done. So I can't, I can't say it's a pass. But I obviously can't give it a strong buy. I can't give it a strong buy.
I can give it a strong buy. I just can't say it's a contender because I already read the story. I mean...
Yeah, I give it a buy.
It's a beautiful book.
I feel like if you've been reading it this whole time, it's a buy. You don't need it.
No.
It's good. It's great for what it is and what it does. And, but I just felt like, why? Why are you doing this to me? You know what I mean? Like,
you hate us.
What are you doing? What are you doing this for?
You hate us.
And that's all I can think of is you're doing a recap for people that
haven't read the book.
That haven't read the book.
Which, again, it's such a great book consistently. This has got to be the first time in, 14 issues? Is that we're on 14?
And this was just filler.
And we have not given this book a strong buy and a contender. So we've been almost over a year. Well, we've been over a year doing this because I started around.
I don't know. There was during the Brainiac at the beginning. Well, that was we didn't give us. We might not have given it a contender or a strong buy maybe for one of them.
But still, it's been consistently good over and over and over again. And then we get this.
Now it's not bad though.
No, it's not bad. But couldn't they have
It's just why.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Couldn't they have I don't know. I guess it's like almost an annual book. This would have been better as an annual.
Yeah, for sure. It most definitely would have.
So, all right. Next up, we have The Flash.
Number 15.
Written by Joshua Williamson, Carmine D.
Giandomenico.
Thank you. As the artist, and Ivan Placencia is the colorist. And Steve Wands is the letterer, and we have the return of the Rogues. Yes.
Yeah, and I loved it. I did not, this whole first part, I did not see it coming at all. And I didn't notice the things that they eventually mentioning and going like, oh, did you notice this? And that's why you figured it out? And I didn't notice that myself. I want to reread it just to see if I would notice it now. Or not, and it's just brilliant. It's a brilliant thing because it's like, man, this is the greatest decoy possible, and having the person doing it is just the perfect person to do it too. And I love how Flash figures it out too. He's like, oh, this is how I figured it out. Mm-hmm. But nonetheless, it's like, well, it's too late because like
we're already kind of doing it.
They're already doing it, and it's cheesy. What he ends up figuring out at the end, and he's like, oh. I don't know where to go because they split up. And I'm like,
Dude, you're the fastest man in the world.
it's like, wait, like
you're the second fastest.
this has never happened in comics before. So that's when I was like, I'm reading a comic. You know what I mean? Like where you just go like, I'm obviously reading a comic right now. I like stories where they just suck me in so much where I'm just like, I'm in it. You know what I mean? Like I am in it. I don't even realize that it's a comic. I just realize it's something as like something real. You know what I mean? And this really pulled me out of it. Not like it's not bad. It's just, and I went, dude, you got a partner, bro.
Well, had they even just said, "Oh, well, Wally's off doing the thing with the Teen Titans," I could have got it. It
Yeah,
would
that
have
too.
been a lot better.
That too. They
would have explained
if
it.
he would have said, "I wish I had help, but Wally's off with the Teen Titans."
Yeah, I would have been cool.
But
Or
he's just
even
like,
saying the other Wally's off
just
with
like,
the Titans.
I don't know what to do. There's
Oh
only
my
one
God.
of me, and there's this many of them, and it's like, so what? They don't have super speed, yo.
Again, he's the second fastest person in the DC universe right
Second fastest?
now. Yeah. Because Ginger Wally is way faster than him.
No, wait.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Ginger Wally, we're talking about.
Ginger Wally is way faster than Barry.
We're talking about Titans Wally,
Right.
now, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, we're not talking about.
We're not talking about Teen Titans Wally.
Because even in the show, he's faster too, I think.
You talking about? Well, in the DC Rebirth universe right now, Ginger Wally West, has shown that he can be a lot faster than Barry Allen.
Okay.
So far. I mean, granted, he's not Godspeed levels. No. By far, he's not Godspeed levels. But he is faster than Barry Allen.
So, but I despite that ending, I still felt like that's the one thing that's holding it back from being a contender for me. It's still strong. It looks amazing, and it's still really great, and it's brilliant. The rest of it, I absolutely love. It's just that aspect of like, it pulled me out. It was just a little too, eh.
Yeah, I get you on that.
It's, like I said, if they would have made the mention, I would have been like, okay, so you are on your own. Okay, fine. But it also made me go like, you are still the fastest man alive, I'm going to stick with that.
Yep.
So, yeah.
All right, next up we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 66, which I picked up for the first time. Man, it is written by Kevin Eastman and Bobby Cornell.
Cornrows?
Cornell. Tom Waltz. Sophie Campbell. Script by Tom Waltz and art by Sophie Campbell and colors by Rhonda Pattinson. Yeah, I didn't know what to expect going into this, but got a weird snow story with Raphael and some Czech.
Yeah, I was like, why are we...
Walking into Winterland?
Yeah, and it was cool, man. It was cool. You have Raph and Angel, and they're like, we're here to find Alopex, the
fox.
Yes.
The mutated fox from New York City.
And
they're in Alaska.
Right. Well, this is actually where she's from. That's why she came back there, because that was her original home.
Before she got mutated.
Yes. And so...
What's this little demon thing that keeps talking to her?
Kitsune, she keeps on... She's, like, in her head, man. And so she keeps on, like, trying to break it and stuff. And I love how Raph, who's usually not this kind of spiritual
He's not
dude,
the family man.
He taps into it, and he's like, well, Splinter taught me this thing, so I'm going to find her spiritually. And
he does.
And so he does. He was using Donnie's tech, but it was out of whack. So he's like, I'm going to do this. And he helps find her. And he helps her find the strength, too, to fight off this demon, Kitsune, and her hold over her and everything like that. And to realize that she's the one that's the reason her whole life has been messed up. And she's trying to blame it on her. And like, oh, yeah, I'm the only one that's been here for you. And she's like, nope, you're the one that's been messing everything up for me.
Yeah.
And I really, really like it. It was just great because it's kind of like you kind of got like a vision quest, and it's a little trippy. You got some heart stuff too from Raph, which you don't get too often. He's like, because Angel's like, why are you doing this? Why do you care so much? And he's like, we just, like we both have been loners in our past, and we connect on that level to the point where we don't even need to talk about it. We just can be alone, be together. And she even says, like, yeah, my dad used to say that, like, that's what he missed the most about my mom is just...
Or that instant connection.
That connection. You don't even have to talk. You're just there. enjoying each other's presence. You know.
I like how the Fox's mask, the little stuff around their eyes, changes color throughout the whole story. It goes from like a reddish color to like a purplish, and then at the very end it's like a sky blue, but it's so beautiful and looks tranquil. And man, it was great added artwork, and I don't even know if you picked that up.
I didn't entirely. I mean, I noticed at the end, like, I was like, she looks different with the thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't. I really didn't look that
As
deeply.
as you see her progress spiritually, the whole mask, the eye thing area just changes color.
That's how brilliant it is,
and
man.
yeah, man, I'm gonna start picking this up, man. This is a strong buy.
Well, you already have started.
Well, yeah.
Now you got to continue.
I gotta continue picking it up.
Continue picking it up, man.
Keep on moving on.
So yeah, for sure, strong buy.
Strong buy contender for me, man.
Most deaf.
All right. Next up, we have the Wars of Starness.
Stardust?
Starness.
Starness. Yeah,
So
Star Wars number 27. It's the part 2 of the
Yoda's
Yoda
Secret War.
story. Jason Aaron is a writer. Salvador La Roca is the artist. Edgar Delgado is the colorist. And yeah, dude, I love it because it's these little savages, these little savage children, kind of like the ones in Savage, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And they throw spears at him, but they're like...
The spears are connected to the Force
They're
somehow.
connected to the Force, so he can't control them because they're like, on their own. They're separate and stuff. So he has to use rocks to block them. And then since he's not trying to kill them, they end up realizing he's not a bad dude. They end up telling him, what's been going on, the bad people and stuff like that.
Look at this big old mountain of blue rock, man.
Yeah, they tell him the story of like this Force rock that they have and how if you eat it, it actually gives you powers and stuff. And that's what's been going on with the other people is they kept it for themselves. And so they actually have a prisoner and stuff. And I really like how he's like, these kids, they don't even have the Jedi and the Sith, but you can obviously tell that
There's good and
there's a
bad.
divide here going on where it's the kids that will not kill and they will not, they don't like to give in to fear and stuff. And then you have the people that have given in fear and anger and hate and all that stuff. And he's like, so he goes to deal with them and stuff. He goes with the prisoner who's just crap talking the whole time. And he finds out that, like, they're not much more than kids. Like, they're older, but they're not much older,
Mm-hmm.
And I love this because Yoda
He gets prisonerized.
He won't fight kids.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't want to hurt these kids. He's no Anakin. He's not going to kill no younglings.
He's not
Whatever. That's fanfic as far as I'm considered. Anakin wouldn't do that. That's work for troopers. He would go kill Jedi masters and stuff is what he would do.
Yeah.
But anyways, so they actually imprison him and stuff.
Got him in shackles.
I love his blue shackles. I don't know, dude. I just
Yeah.
like them. They looked like pills at first, and I was like, they look like the pills from like Dr. Mario and stuff. I don't know. It just tripped me out. So I like it though a lot, dude, because this is like you can tell that this is challenging Yoda on a different level.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like so many different levels. He even says that himself. I think it says that like in the journal or whatever that like I never had to deal with something like this,
And then next up, I guess we're seeing some more Obi-Wan and Yoda in the Journal of the Wills. So I imagine this next arc, we're just going to go through the Journal of the Wills the entire time.
So yeah, it seems. Yeah, I think there's going to be the conclusion to it, but yeah, cover more stuff. This one is definitely a strong buy, and I think it's definitely it's definitely a contender.
It's
too.
strong by contender for me.
You gotta love some Yoda stuff. Like personally, I could care less about a Han Solo movie. Young him, I would be fine with seeing an old him. Honestly,
Harrison Ford.
Yeah. Heck, I would have been happy to see Harrison Ford do a prequel series when he was young enough, but I don't care to see one now that it's not him.
Give me Obi-Wan. Give me Yoda.
We've seen Obi-Wan's kind of not really young days, but the prequels are his story sort of. But Yoda, yes, Yoda. I've heard like I don't know if this is true, but like that he had a twin and he was dark side. Or that they were both good, and then he went dark side.
Really?
That would be an interesting story to tell.
Yeah.
Like why he is the way he is, kind of. You know what I mean? But
they'll probably tell something like that with Legos.
you know that what's unfortunate is I wish they would do stuff that's not being done. That's what I wish. You know, like we've seen the original, we've seen
The prequels.
the prequels, and we've seen
So-
now the new stuff. And I like the new stuff because it's new,
Yeah.
right? But I want to see
Something you've
Old
never seen before.
Republic. That's what I want to see.
I would love to see the Old
Because
Republic.
it's so different. You know, I don't even care in what element I would see it in. I'd be fine with Netflix series or something like that. I'd be fine with a freaking Darth Maul Netflix series or something
Dude,
like that.
give me
or a
Bane.
KOTOR series.
Give me Darth
That's Netflix.
Bane.
Dude, Darth Bane would be my dream.
Give me your wet dream, man.
Darth
Because Darth Bane is awesome.
Bane is my favorite Sith of all time.
My second favorite Sith. I'm a Revan fan. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Revenant's sick. That's a good one too,
I
dude.
love
That is a
Revan,
good
man.
one. That is a good
Love
one.
it.
But no, I stick with Bane. But yeah, he's really good. But anyways, yeah, Strong by Contender.
Check it out for yourself. Digital
Glavin,
code.
Here's digital code. 2, C for Charlie, X for X-ray, 7, 1, R for Richter, 0, 7, 4, Q for Quill, 8 for Alvin, 2.
Next up, we have Detective Comics number 949. And this is Batwoman Begins the Finale, written by James
Tignon the 4th.
Yeah. And Marguerite.
Marguerite Benet, she's also a writer.
Ben Oliver is the artist. Simon, how do you spell that?
Simon Kondransky?
Is it Simon? Simon?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. That's a weird way. Yeah, I've never seen
Is
something
it
like
Kondransky?
that. Yeah.
Okay.
And Ben Oliver, Gabe El
Taib?
yeah, El Taib, and Hi-Fi Colors.
Okay. Dude, I love the art. I love the art.
So gorgeous,
Like-
man.
I'm not even a hardcore art guy. I just love this style of art. Yeah. There's no better word for than gorgeous. Like all of it.
I mean, there wasn't a page here that didn't pop out and just stand out.
Yeah.
And
I
most
was
of these
just
pages
like just
are
freaking
two-page spreads almost. I mean,
drooling over because it's so amazing. And this dude that is he's a bad dude. Like he's hardcore.
I mean, it's just basically Batwoman kind of coming into her own. I mean, there's not much to say about this. It's, a lot of conversation.
But that dude does kind of complete his objectives. He ends up sacrificing his own self to do it. And it's surprising that they don't even really chase him down, though. Like, why not? Why didn't they do that?
I don't know.
Instead, they have her go talk to her dad, and that's it.
Because, well, she's the only person her dad is going to talk to her.
That, and they're like, well, instead of chasing him, let's just go to him and ask him where he's going.
Yeah. And then, of
Cut
course...
out the middleman.
Yeah. And then Batwoman's going to get her own solo rebirth title here soon.
Which I'm pretty jacked off about. Because her series has always been great. Always. Pre-birth and rebirth. Well, not rebirth, but pre-New 52 and New 52. They were amazing.
Currently,
series.
I'm liking it in the Detective Comics.
Yeah. If it's anything like this, I am DTF, down to fund.
Yep. So, strong by contender for me?
Strong by contender here as well.
Yeah. And
Absolutely stunning and just really, really interesting.
Right. Next up, we have...
Superman Action Comics 972.
Yeah, I think that's the last one I got as well. Because I don't think I picked up Batgirl because of how boring I found it.
Dan Jurgens is the writer, Stefan Segovia as pencils, Art Thibault inks, Ulysses Ariola as colors.
And then we're having the conclusion of the whole Lex Luthor, Superman, prison, Red Planet type thing going on.
I really like how Lex Luthor kind of is the everyman in this issue, sort of, in the sense that, like, he expected what we expected of Superman, which is, this guy who's been superpowered all his life is now
Depowered. And he's useless.
And then you go, nope, he's not useless. And he becomes very strategic. And he's like, I've had to deal with this before, so I kind of know what I'm doing. And it works out really well, and he does a good job. And I like how smart he is, too. And that's something that you kind of forget about Superman is that, like, how smart he actually is, you know, and then it doesn't have much to do with him being, you know, Kryptonian.
Yeah.
And everything like that.
And then we got fake Clark, showing up to Lois's house.
Fake Clark,
Yeah.
or faux Clark. I don't know. So yeah, that's an interesting twist too, because I thought that she planned that like she was gonna bring him in on the fold. Nope. He was a little switcheroo where he decided to take it up for the delivery man, which is kind of weird. And I thought she was gonna reveal it to him, like, oh, I'm busted. I'm just gonna reveal it.
No, this is my cousin's kid.
Yeah, and but the other part though with Superman, they had a plan. I think he ends up going against the plan, and doing it to each guy's side of their
moral code,
their humanity, and everything like that. But and Superman does the same thing to Lex when he's like, you know, I thought you were this, and that's why I did this, and
well,
this
you're
is why I
nothing
did
like
that.
that.
Yeah.
And Lex is like, okay, well, I get you're from a parallel universe, and in this parallel universe, I must have been a complete douche.
Yeah.
But I'm not, so, I guess you're not a tool either. So, and Lex gives back the cape to Perry White, which is a big step.
Now, what I'm really wondering the most, though, is he going to continue being his own Superman? Is he just not going to wear the cape? He's just going to be in the suit? Or has he given it up entirely? Because it almost seems like, because we've talked about this, is that story of the like death and return of Superman, and so I wonder if it's going to be like, oh, he's going to retire that, like that's no longer part of the story. You know what I mean? Or not? We'll see. Because I feel like he's still inspired to do great things, but I don't know if he's going to do it under that symbol or if he's going to change it. And there's also teasers into the future.
Yeah, we got
final
things
days
to come.
of Clark Kent. So that's cool too. I love teasers that show us what to look forward to.
Now, when they say the final days of Clark Kent, are they talking about Clark Kent the Superman or Clark Kent the not Superman?
And that's the teaser.
That's the teaser.
That's the teaser.
Yeah.
It's just like The Last Jedi. What is it about? Is it about
The Last One Jedi? The Last of the Jedi? The Last Jedi in total?
Not Mark. Is it about Luke, or is it about Rey? You know?
We can get into this conversation after we give our grade.
Yeah. So strong by contender, and after we give the B-bow, I think.
Strong by contender for me as well.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So it is B-bow time. It's time to announce our best book of the week, Back in Bag.
Well, my runner-up was Biff to the Future #1. I enjoyed the absolute hell out of that. I thought it was a great book. The art was stunning. It was set in a timeline of a film series that I enjoyed immensely. It still kept continuity, and I loved it. Great runner-up. My B-bow is Batman Beyond #4. Man, I am loving this series. The guy who's writing Batman Beyond #4 and the whole series so far, dude, keep up the good work. I love it. I'm not gonna put it down. I'm not gonna put it down at all. Oh, and a tie for my runner-up for Ghost Rider, because that was a great book, and I wanted it to keep rising on my list. But Ghost Rider was my definitely tie for runner-up. What do you have, my friend?
I'm gonna have to go with the. I'm gonna have to go with Thanos as my runner-up. Art absolutely amazing. I love it, and I'm gonna go ahead and spoil it right here, which is part of the reason that I loved it so much. Is that ending? Gladiator does. He knocks out Thanos
Like
and
a
he's
bitch.
He's like, lock him up, and I'm like, you've just made the single-hand worst decision of your entire life. When you have Thanos like that, you don't imprison him. You end his life. You execute him as soon as possible. That's it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't care what your moral code is. When you have Thanos like that, you kill him. You never want to have him imprisoned, because how many times have we seen him imprisoned and it ends up worse for those people, whoever decided to do it?
Yeah.
So that is the dumbest thing you've ever done, but I love that, and I can't wait to see
What the consequences?
what the consequences are. Um, so yeah, but I'm gonna have to completely agree with you on the back and bag of the week, which is Batman Beyond. That new suit, I just loved. It was so sick, but
and we have yet to see what it can do completely.
Exactly. That was like all the new gadgets and the tricks and stuff, and it looks cool. It looks creepy.
It looks different.
I love that it looks scary. I love the element of Batman being something to fear, and that's also why I love the Batman that does not talk, because when he does talk, you should be very afraid because he never talks. So. And then on top of that, there's all that emotional stuff, the emotional fallout. Like I said, that him talking about, I miss having Bruce in my ear, and then finding out, and then him finding out, holy crap,
Bruce is alive.
Bruce is the Joker, this Joker, and so you gotta question, like, okay, he's alive, he's barely alive, but he's somehow alive, but is he gonna be the new Joker, or what?
What's going to be his purpose?
Or am I going to have my dad back? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
what is it? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many balls up in the air that I'm just like, where are they going to land? On top of all the drama that's going on with him and Dana, and she's finding out, holy crap, you were Batman this entire time, and I didn't know it. You were a giant a-hole. And he's like, I was trying to protect you. And she's like, look what's happened now. It didn't protect me from crap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I love how his brother has become, because he's wearing the colors.
Oh, yeah.
If you've noticed, Robin. And I would love to see him become the new Robin. There's something exciting to me about a legitimate father, son, brother
kind of relationship within the Batman
team. Like, adopting, that's fine. But legitimate. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I love the relationship of just Damian and Bruce. Even though they've kind of really haven't had a good relationship lately.
Well, they haven't really interacted since DC Rebirth.
They haven't. It's weird. But I like that. And to be honest, like, I have an hermano, and I would love to have that in my life, is be like, me and my hermano beating up bad guys. You know what I mean? Like, that
like
would be
Captain
cool.
America and Bucky.
Which is weird, though, because he's actually bigger than me, and he's 9 years younger than me. He's pretty...
And that's his name, Hermano.
He's pretty swole, you know. He's pretty swole. He's that football build, you know. But
we have denamed him, and he's now Hermano.
But still, you know, and that just means I would be the more agile one, you know, and he would be the more of a tank type, you know.
So you guys tell us, what was your favorite book of the week? Did we cover it, and did we agree with you?
Yeah.
Did we disagree with you?
Who do you think had the better back and bag of the week, me or this clown over here?
Well, we had the same back and bag of the week.
I know. Jeez, come on, you're ruining it.
Ah, man.
Gosh. So, or better runner-up then,
Yeah, better runner-up is probably the better choice.
So, yeah. And what yours was, and please tell me what you thought of these books. I want to hear. I feel like there's more people joining in and getting codes, which that's what I like to hear. I don't like it when one person just takes all the codes.
Yeah.
I hope they like to be shared. Which, speaking of, I know, I mean, I'm really sorry about this, but I haven't been able to read the books. Usually I read my books at work. And I don't really like to read my books at home, but I've been forced to read my books at home because I haven't been able to read at work. Just because the way my schedule was, and then also the places I've been, it's dark, so I haven't been able to read legitimately. So
it happens.
That's why I haven't been able to cover the previous week's books. So I'll get to those, and when I get to those, I will give the digital codes away in many different ways. I'll do it on Instagram. I'll do it on Facebook, and I'll do it on Twitter. So I'll change it up. And the thing is, though, when I post it to Facebook, it posts to Twitter. I might throw some on Tumblr because I know that when it posted on Tumblr, it ends up posting on Twitter as well.
Nice.
So look forward to that. Hopefully I can do that in this upcoming week, as long as I end up in a place where the lights actually work.
Yeah.
You know? So there's that. Besides that, what were we talking about?
The Last of the Jedi. The Last Jedi.
Okay, The Last Jedi. So yeah,
So,
obviously there's.
They're trolling us.
They are, and I really do hope that when you put them all together, it makes
A sentence.
At
So
the
you
end.
have The Force Awakens, The
Last
Last Jedi,
Jedi.
what, Into the Dark Side or something like that? Oh, I don't.
That would be really cool, right?
I mean,
Wouldn't that be really cool?
It would be pretty cool.
If Luke ended up becoming
So we have the classic goldish logo,
evil
goldish yellow,
in the end,
and then we
but
have
was defeated.
the red logo. Are we having a blue logo next?
I don't know.
Is it-
Stranger Things, man. I think they went with the red. That's what I've heard. That's the new theme. What was the new one? What was the new one?
The Last Jedi.
No. But the what was Force Awakens was what color?
It was yellow.
Was
Yeah,
it? Okay,
classic
it was
yellow.
Okay, yellow, red, and then blue. It's got to be blue because
gotta
those
be.
are the. Well, I don't know. You don't really see too many red lightsaber. I mean, yellow lightsabers. They are there. They do exist, but you don't see them too often.
Maybe green?
I think partially because I think
thought-
in KOTOR, the ones that wielded the yellow were the ones that were like the. Weren't they the ones
The
that like?
Sentinels is what they called them.
Were they the Sentinels?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. I'd have to look it up, but. And speaking of, I will be posting some. I think it's the last trivia for Santa Fe Comic Con.
Oh, nice.
I know I'm slacking, but I like to do stuff, in the order that it's done.
I saw that we had the Doc Ock go up, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, the Doc Ock, that one went pretty well. In fact, the lady,
The contestant,
she enjoyed it. She's appreciated. She's been commenting every time I
Yeah.
posted on those. The 2 times that I posted, she made a comment each time, which is good. That's what I like to see.
And that's some hard trivia, man.
It was legitimately like most of the questions were I had no idea.
That's because it came out in that box
And
right there.
She was killing it. So that'll be coming out, and it'll be with that Pole Pier cosplay. He will be the last one. Unfortunately, the one with Magneto and Scarlet Witch. Audio was just completely
trash.
It was just the pulsing, just like our first day of
Albuquerque.
Comic Con. But like we said,
Hey, at
not
least we got
gonna
it
be a
fixed
problem
now.
anymore. And then I think I'm probably going to put out that compilation of the cosplayers and what they thought of Santa Fe Comic Con.
Nice.
So it's good to get that feedback. And then that's pretty much it. We played some Power Rangers.
Yeah, we played some Power Rangers.
We played some Power Rangers Mega Battle. Now,
What do you think
I know
of that?
I only played one level, but dude, I really feel like it's missing way too much to be when it goes on sale or something like that. I think it's gonna be worth a buy. So I'll give it like a week buy right now.
Okay.
Because it's just like there's so many ways that you could just use the audio from the old series, and I know it probably wouldn't be the best of quality, but it would still be better than just the dead. No, it's not, because it's not dead air. There's still the background music, and every once in a while you'll hear and there's the sound effects. But I feel like, man, it would just be if you did that and you threw it in there like them when they did the hi-yas and all that. You threw all that in there, it would just be so rich.
Yes.
And so full of the essence of Power Rangers. And it's just stripped of it because it's kind of just at its bare essentials. And I don't know, the way they look, it reminds me of the style. It reminds me of like you said.
It's like Double Dragon.
Well, the visual style reminds me of Beautiful Joe.
But Scott
it's
Pilgrim.
also Scott Pilgrim is kind of like the way that the fighting is designed and everything like that. So it was still fun, and I can definitely say that it's a game that's definitely worth, I think, playing with a friend. But on your own, it seems like it would be kind of boring because we have fun together, just like being clowns and like doing the voicing because they don't. For like when they have lines of dialogue,
they don't speak.
You don't hear it. It's just you read it. So we end up reading the parts like they would back in the day. Even if it ends up being like Kimberly, I gotta read it like a Valley girl, and try to make Jason as accurate as Jason.
Jill I have here.
So. But Rita does her Rita thing, which is great.
Make my monster go!
And it's with the headaches and everything like that.
Yeah.
It's funny. how she was always with the headaches. But yeah.
She was always
so-
complaining to Finster about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't remember his name is Finster.
So, but yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's more, but I can't remember. I missed Riverdale, dude.
I did
missed
too.
Riverdale. So I hope it plays a rerun. If not, I will just use the CW app.
Yeah,
Is it on
CW
there?
app.
Then I'll check it out on there. But I have watched Supergirl. I have watched.
Watch the Flash, Legends. And
Yes, I have
Arrow.
watched Flash, but I still gotta watch Legends and Arrow. But yeah, I'm liking Flash, and I'm liking Supergirl.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. So
And then Agents
I
of
can't.
Shield is still going strong, man.
I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see. Whatchamacallit? Superboy suit, dude. I cannot wait to see what they do with it.
What, Monel? We'll see.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be next week.
So, yeah, we'll check it out.
You got yourself another gato in your lap, man.
Yep. So, but yeah, this podcast is a strong buy, so make sure you check it out.
Yes.
I mean, you can't. It's free. So, but if you had to purchase it for like a penny, it would be definitely a strong buy.
Yeah,
you know?
because we're hilarious.
Yeah, and brilliant, magnificent, beautiful specimens. And like we say, it's a great way to keep up on comics and
Especially
stuff like that.
if you don't have time
And
to
have
read
a
this
good
week's
time.
book, or
You know,
you don't know what to buy.
you could watch us on YouTube. Which is what a lot of people like to do. Well, I don't know. I more people listen to us because that's how podcasts are more, because
Yeah.
we're long. People like it long in the ear, but not so much long in the face. I mean in the visual,
eyes.
Yeah, in the eyes. So, but yeah, but however you like it, we like that you like it. So that's what matters. And we like all your likes, your views, your listens.
Spread the word.
Your shares, your retweets. All that stuff. Yeah, please spread the word to your friends, to your family, to your animals. Animals love to listen to us.
Oh yes, this
when
one
we're
does
away.
it.
We keep them in check. So if they we'll stay in line while you're away.
We'll tell them to keep off the couch.
No messes and everything like that. Yeah, for sure. So, keep an open mind and open ear. Talk nerdy to me.
And to us.
Yeah. And keep your eyes hungry, Bo.
Comics.